even as a beauty creator, I'm not immune to the tactics of beauty marketing, and I've spent so many years and a lot of money on products that I was convinced were essential to my routine, only to find out they're really not, and some of them were actually more inconvenient for me to keep using and keep in my collection. So in this video, I'm gonna be calling out beauty products I no longer purchase and why. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my channel where we talk all things budget beauty. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Slashed Squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. The first type of beauty product that I am no longer buying is actually a recent decision of mine. I am swearing off of charcoal products, at least for now. As much as charcoal is supposed to be this wonder ingredient that can help you detoxify, it's just messy. There was one point recently where I was using a Caress charcoal body wash, a Tom's charcoal toothpaste, and then a Dermalogica charcoal face scrub, and every surface in my white bathroom had gray and black specks all over it. And it's just annoying. So for now, charcoal products are on my no-buy list. I may make an exception in the future for charcoal face masks, since those are more of a once-in-a-while product. They won't constantly be all over my bathroom. But even still, as someone with acne-prone skin, I don't really find charcoal to do that much for me. The next type of beauty product that I no longer buy, I've just realized are inconvenient for me and cumbersome to have in my collection. And those are artistry palettes or multi-pan palettes of the same type of product. The first thing that comes to mind when I say this is like the NYX Contour Bronzer Palette. Palettes like these, while they may be useful for someone who's actually doing makeup on clients, as a normal consumer, I stick to like 2 to 3 max shades in this palette. While all the others go untouched, it's just wasted money, it's wasted space. Even if the value is there, like the cost per shade, if I'm not using all the shades, then I'm just spending money I don't need to be spending. Even smaller multi-pan palettes sort of fall under this category, I'm starting to realize. This is the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder Palette. I used it in my last Shop My Stash, and I actually really like the product itself, but I only find myself using 2 out of 4 of these shades. These top 2, I've never touched. So even something like this, I would much rather just have this single shade that I use the most, have it be much more convenient to travel with, to store, than having all these options that I don't use. This next type of beauty product even surprised me with how much I used to be obsessed with it, and it was part of my daily routine, and now I don't own one in my whole collection, and that is color correcting concealer. Now, I'll admit there is definitely a time or place for color correctors if you're really trying to achieve full coverage, flawless foundation, but on a daily basis, I just don't find myself really needing it anymore. The foundations that I choose have enough coverage to even everything out without needing that extra step. And aside from that, if I do have a really red and angry breakout, nowadays I kind of just avoid putting a lot of makeup on top of it so it can heal quicker. I used to swear by the NYX HD concealer in green. It was an everyday must-have for me, and thinking back on it, I realized that I was taking this concealer applicator, dabbing it straight onto my breakouts, putting it back in the tube to contaminate the whole formula, and then reapplying that to my breakouts every single day. So that was kind of gross too. Obviously, there are other ways that I could have been using it to be a little more hygienic, but regardless, nowadays I don't really feel like I need the extra step with the go-to foundations and concealers that I already use. Next up, a product that I've spent so much money repurchasing and trying out from different brands, brush shampoo. This is probably the last one that I bought from EcoTools, their makeup brush shampoo. Basically, I just realized that I was overpaying for fancy soap. Another thing that used to get me is the fact that, you know, this is something that I am putting on my brushes, which I'm applying to my face, and some of the ingredients weren't really on my side. Even from EcoTools, where you think EcoTools, you think kind of like a natural vibe, this contains fragrance. So to save myself a ton of money, to save my skin from unnecessary reactions, and to have basically the same results, I now use the Dove Beauty Bar in the sensitive skin version to clean my brushes. I've tested this out myself at home against the Beauty Blender Solid Blender Cleanser brush cleaner. What a mouthful. And this works just as well, if not better. It's like $3 to $4 for a 2-pack at Walmart or Target. The sensitive skin version is the important part of this though, because it's fragrance free. It's still made with 1/4 moisturizing cream, so it's it's not only cleaning your brushes, and believe me, it does a great job at getting rid of caked on product, but it's also keeping your brushes soft, which is very important because sometimes when you use other household items like Dawn, your brushes start feeling a little stiff and dry. Dove Beauty Bar has not let me down. I use it for my brushes and my sponges. This next type of product, I won't say that I'll never buy again, but I'm definitely gonna be cutting back on how many times I repurchase it. Any type of body scrub. Here's the thing, I've found body scrubs to come in like tiny jars like this, and you need a lot if you're really gonna do a good exfoliation all over. And so I just go through them too quickly for what I'm paying. Scrubs are probably the easiest DIY beauty product that you can make yourself at home for so cheap with stuff you already have. But I actually find myself using brush type products now for body exfoliation specifically, because obviously you can use these over and over and over again, and I find them to be a little bit more effective than scrubs as well because they're not dissolving as you work them in. So you're getting the same level of exfoliation throughout the entire experience. So this is just your very typical loofah. I would say this would be like light to medium exfoliation. These are my heavy duty ones though. They're both from a brand called Daily Concepts, which is available at Ulta. It's a very affordable body care brand. This is their dry brush and massager, so I would use this on dry skin before or after I shower. I really love that aside from the bristles, there are these silicone touch points that really like massage your skin, feel really good. And this is probably my most rigorous exfoliator that I use, and I will use this on the back of my thighs as well as on my arms for my KP. So like I said, I may in the future buy a body scrub if I think the scent smells really good and I just want to indulge that way. But for the actual practical purpose of exfoliating my body, I'm gonna stick to tools like this. The next product I will never buy again. If I get it in PR, I will immediately give it to someone else. Bath bombs with glitter in them. Who thought that this was a good idea? I could go on and on about how much I hate bath bombs that have glitter in them. They leave my tub covered in glitter that just ends up all over the house. And they also leave my body covered in glitter, which then I have to shower to sort of get off after I've already taken a bath. It ends up all over my sheets. It ends up in my hair. Like there's no escaping it after you've bathed in glitter. Who said, I really want to know, who said, I would love to bathe in glitter and then never be able to escape it again? Done with glitter bath bombs. And last we've got a 2-for-1. Single eyeshadows and magnetic palettes. Back in the beginning days of the YouTube community, it was very common to design your own palettes with single eyeshadows. It's kind of like how Makeup Geek got its start as well. Now, I was never really good at creating custom palettes with single shadows because of 2 reasons. Either, one, I would pick out shades that I thought were really pretty but did not work well together. Or on the other hand, and what you can kind of see in this one, I would buy a ton of very similar looking shades. Like these 2 look exactly the same, these are very close, these are super similar. I'm just bad at custom palettes. But depending on the brand you were buying the shadows from, it also wasn't always very cost effective to create your own palette versus buying one that had most of the shades that you'd want anyway. The ones in this palette specifically are, I think, all from shopmissa.com, so these were only $1 shades. On one hand, I can see it still being helpful if you just want to create your own ultimate palette with all of the shades that you gravitate towards and use regularly, but what that would look like for me is probably just like one big rainbow palette or something similar to like the James Charles palette, because the colors I wear are so dependent on my mood that day. I don't really stick to any one color story. And I probably have 2 to 3 magnetic palettes like this that are actually filled up with a lot of my old single shadows, and I hardly ever go into them. But unless you're looking for something super specific or you're just really picky, it just ends up being a lot of work. What I think the main draw to buying single shadows and using custom palettes like this would be is that if you ever hit pan on a shade that you use regularly, you can just replace that one color instead of worrying about using the rest of the palette up before you repurchase it. So there's definitely some good sides to still doing this. I just don't find myself wanting to. Are there any beauty products that you used to love that you no longer purchase? Tell me what they are and why you don't buy them anymore in the comments below. Today's shout out goes to Miss Nala. Thanks for being a member of the Slashed Squad. And join me over in this video next where I review the new Urban Decay Naked Ultraviolet palette and offer some budget-friendly alternatives. I'll see you over there. Bye!